If you'd like this year to be the year you finally start to make an impact in the world of social media, then stick around, because in this video I'm going to cover 5 of the main social media platforms with some tips and information for you on how to get started, and that's coming up right now. Hey there, Mark Warnken here. Thanks for tuning into my channel, the #1 place to stay up to date with everything that's happening in the world of social media. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and tick the little bell icon. That way you won't miss out on any of my weekly videos. So diving straight into this video on how to win on social media to start making an impact to help grow your business or brand. So we're going to be covering 5 of the main social media platforms. I'm going to have some tips and information for you to get started on right now. That's right, right now, just after you've watched this video, you'll be able to start taking action, implementing, and I'm quite sure, I can almost guarantee you, slowly but surely, you will start having some wins, and you'll look back in a month or two or a few weeks even and say, wow, how much progress, look at the look how far I've grown. I have 5 simple tips for your success to actually help you on your journey. Now, tip number 1 is actually deciding this is the year you're wanting to, make an impact and start winning on the world in the world of social media. If you don't decide to this first step and take action, nothing will actually happen after that. Tip number 2 is to pick one of the social media platforms to start with and become really, really good at it. I want you to dominate your industry or niche. Now, you noticed I said really, really good. I don't want you just to be sort of poking around the edges. Pick one of the social media platforms, focus wholly on it for a few weeks or a month or two, and become really, really good. And what you'll find is you will really rise to the top and start dominating your industry and niche. Then you can move on to a second one. I found if you try and be spreading yourself too thin across 2, 3, 4 of the social media platforms at the same time initially, it all gets too hard and you give up and you end up deciding social media doesn't work for you. After you have picked one of them, I want you to be consistent with your activity on a daily basis. That's right, daily basis. Your social media presence now, I believe, is just as important as answering the telephone, responding to emails. If you're a retail store, that type of thing, serving your customers. Social media is not a sometimes thing, it is now an everyday thing. So I want you to be consistent with your activity. And I also want you to engage with your community. Now, engaging with your community might be responding to, messages on your Facebook page. It might be responding to the comments on your YouTube channel. You might be getting direct messages through your Instagram page or your Twitter feed. Engage with your community, respond, share content, all of that type of thing. And all of this is built for success. And once you start doing them all, the magic starts to happen. And I also want you to have a call to action or ask people to buy. That's right. The vast majority of people aren't making sales from their social media sites because they're not offering any product or service for sale. It can be as simple as click the link to buy now. So this is some of the information and tips that I'm going to be covering off in this video. Now, the first of the social media platforms I'm going to explore today is YouTube. Now, this video is not necessarily all about telling you which order or which of the social media platforms you should be choosing first, but my strong suggestion would be to very much consider YouTube, because video content is the future. And let me go over to my own YouTube channel page and we run through some tips and information that'll be helpful for you. And here we are on my YouTube channel, Mark Warnken Social Media Selling. I've just ticked over 11,000 subscribers today, so thank you for everyone who subscribed to my channel, and equally for everyone who's watched any or one of my videos. Thank you very much for the support. So video content is the future in the online world. So my strong suggestion for every business owner and brand or salespeople or cause, whatever, my strong suggestion would be for you to set up and create a YouTube channel, because I'm of the firm belief we all should be looking at creating lots of video content. Now, that video content you can be then sharing across all of your social media platforms. It doesn't matter whether it might be on your Facebook page, it might be your LinkedIn page, it might be here on Twitter. Equally, it might be on your Instagram page. But setting up and optimizing and creating a YouTube channel will be an amazing place, a really simple place for you to, keep
readily available and house all of that video content. And there are a few good reasons why I love YouTube so much, and why last year was I probably solely focused, or not solely, but the vast majority of my time last year was focusing on growing my YouTube channel. And let me explain some of the reasons why. Now, the number one reason I want everyone to be focusing on having a YouTube channel and setting it up correctly and all of that, and creating videos, is because Google own YouTube. That's right. So as we all know, Google's the biggest search engine in the world. It's the number one website in the world. YouTube is the second most popular website in the world. So all of your video content that you create and upload to your YouTube channel, if anyone starts doing a Google search, there's a very good chance your content will appear on page 1 of Google for free, because you're creating video content around what people are looking for. Let me explain and show you how that works in real life. Now, I've just gone to Google and keyed in a search like billions of searches would happen every day. This search is how to stop your dog from barking. So Google are going to be ranking and giving me a whole heap of options. Now, the first ones are paid ads. These are people who've paid money to be at the top of the page. But as we start scrolling down, there's some information here and there's a couple of websites. But straight away on page 1 of Google, there are 3 videos that are being suggested. And look at them. They're all YouTube videos. YouTube, this one was uploaded just a year ago, 3 or 4 months ago. This particular video was uploaded in 2015, so 6 years ago. How to teach your dog not to bark, that type of thing. So you can see the power of creating video content and having a YouTube channel. Whenever anyone goes to Google and starts searching for it, there's a good chance, if you do it all correctly, and I have ways and videos that explain how to do it all correctly, and I'll put it in the link below. But just how general is this? How to stop your dog from barking? Now, I've got this keyword research tool, and it's telling me that I've installed, and that's what this yellow highlighted area here. It's telling me 6,600 people a month are keying in this search term. So straight away, that becomes an opportunity for you to create content around that. And if we do it all correctly, there's a good chance that you'll end up, as I say, on page 1. So the main reason I want everyone to be focusing on setting up and creating a YouTube channel is that because Google own it. You do the work once, the video is online, the Google community, all of the search engines, in fact, can find it, but then you can also share that content across other social media platforms as well. So that's the first reason YouTube is amazing. Now, if you then decide to go down that path, I want you to set up and optimize your YouTube channel for success. Again, I've got a separate video on how to do all of that, and I will put the links in it below. So when someone lands on my YouTube channel here, hopefully they're left in no doubt exactly, within seconds what I do, making social media for business owners and brands easy. And then when they start scrolling down my YouTube channel to have a look at all the videos, they can start seeing, hey, yeah, Mark's the social media guy. Mark might be able to help me with my social media. 5 reasons why YouTube videos beat Facebook. How to post from Facebook to Instagram. YouTube for business. Ultimate guide to Twitter. How to set up a LinkedIn page. So you're wanting to set up and optimize your YouTube channel for success. That way, when someone does land on your channel, there's a greater chance that they will hit the subscribe button, and then they will start to be able to get notified and that type of thing when you're uploading and recording all of your videos. Now, all of this is based around growing your business or brand, or if you're a startup, or if you're a business or a charity, if you're wanting people to find you, having a YouTube channel, I firmly believe is one of the best ways that we can all do it. And the best part about it, I suppose, it's all for free. Everything I'm showing you in this video today about all of how to win on social media, all of this tips and information, it's all for free. So these videos, I'm coming up towards 100 videos. So another reason why having a YouTube channel is so good, all of this time and effort, the work that I did months and months ago, these videos are now here forever. This how to create a PayPal button, 7,000 comments on LinkedIn, from 0 to 3,000 subs. All of this becomes evergreen content, and it is there appearing on my YouTube channel for people to watch and learn. And this is one of the main reasons, or this is one of the main ways that I generate new clients for my business is they Google me, they land on my YouTube channel. Yes, they might also have a look at my Facebook page, and they might also check me out on LinkedIn. But this is the start of the sales cycle for me. This is my sales funnel, having a YouTube channel. So there's some really simple tips and important information on why I honestly believe, having a YouTube channel is a really strong suggestion for everyone to be focusing on. I'm not here to tell you on which of the social media platforms to focus on first. You might be a cafe and a coffee shop, and maybe Instagram's the page for you to get started on. You might be a more corporate business, and it might be LinkedIn. That's okay. Get started on LinkedIn. But my strong suggestion would be for every business owner and brand to very much consider setting up your own YouTube channel for this year. So the second of the social media platforms I want to focus on in this video is Facebook. Facebook, for a lot of you, might be the easiest one to get started on because most of us have probably had our own personal Facebook profile over the years or still do. So we're probably very familiar with the screens, and it is very user-friendly as well. So, Facebook is, now while saying that, I'm still amazed how many business owners and brands, still haven't gone down the path of correctly setting up a Facebook page, or if they do have a Facebook page, they're not active on it. They haven't been active on it within, the last few weeks or the last few months. Now, remembering I said before, social media these days is not a sometimes thing, it's an everyday thing. And, your Facebook page is just as important, I believe, than having your website. So tip number one here with your Facebook strategy is setting up and optimizing your Facebook page for success. Just as we had here on YouTube, it's the same principle across Facebook, because when someone lands on your Facebook page, you literally have seconds to grab their attention, who you are, what you do, and how you help. And if you don't do that, then the chances are they'll click off and the opportunity will be lost. And when setting up and optimizing your Facebook page, not setting it up and optimizing it for mobile is one of the biggest mistakes I see. So see on the left-hand side, the image here, see how the image, the banner image, the cover image is cut off on the left and the right. Over here on the right-hand side, it's sized correctly for mobile. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see. Now, I even had to fiddle around with that myself when I was setting up and doing my Facebook page. So I do have a separate video on how to make sure that your Facebook page is set up and optimized for mobile. And this is a really good slide. So down the bottom left, this is how your Facebook page looks on mobile. The mistake is lots of us go and set up and do our Facebook page on the computer, which is the top one. And then we add an image and it looks fine on a computer, but it gets cropped significantly on a mobile and on an iPad on the left. So, this is the safe, mobile, safe friendly. Facebook will say you have a cover image of 828 by 315 pixels, and it looks fantastic on a desktop computer. But it's only the gray area here that will show on mobile. And 80% plus of all views on Facebook pages these days are on a mobile device. So that's one of the beginner's tips, or not a beginner's tip, I suppose. It's one of the really important tips to focus on when setting up your Facebook page. And then once you've set up and optimized, you need to be posting and engaging with your community on a daily basis. That's right. I normally schedule 3 to 5 posts in advance. So I do them on a Sunday, so they go out through the ensuing weeks. Now, I've got lots of video content. Some of this is an overflow from my YouTube channel. Now, remembering I said when I'm recording videos for my YouTube channel, that same recording or the same raw footage, I start repurposing the Facebook page. So you need to be active with liking and commenting and sharing and posting and all of that. And a good recent example of setting up and optimizing your page and working with someone, I've got a new client I've been working with over the last few weeks. It's a wedding dress business. Their brand is called Higar Novius Australia. So we've been setting up and teaching them how to be using to promote their business and brand via Facebook and Instagram. So we've ticked all the right boxes in regard to setting up. Now, I suppose this particular Facebook or this industry does have an advantage over most because the images are absolutely fantastic. We've got all of the about information correctly. We've got the call now button listed here, with a call to action. We're not making it difficult for, potential brides, or not potential brides, upcoming brides to contact and view everything. And this has been a specific Facebook and Instagram strategy that I'm working with this business. Check out their Facebook page and Instagram page as well, and make sure you give it a like and a thumbs up as well. It'll definitely help them. And in only a matter of days, the comments and the messages started coming in. People were saying, hey, can you send me some more information? Does it come in my size? What's the price? So, just by being active, we've been active, I suppose, on this Facebook page, every second and third and fourth day, eye-catching, striking images, lots of comments, lots of messages, lots of likes are coming in. And it's only a matter of time before they get their first sale. So, that's what social media is all about. And Facebook, I suppose makes it really easy for us. It's really easy to set up an eye-catching, Facebook business page, but that's only half of it. We then need to be active on a daily basis. And being active and engaging on a daily basis means to be responding to every comment, posting and sharing content across, community pages, groups and things like that. And here's a real good tip that I want to show that all of us can do. So most of us are used to liking and commenting on a particular Facebook post, but you can like and comment on other people's pages as your own page. So see over here on the right-hand side, we've got the drop-down box. Now, I can start liking and commenting on this particular post as my business page. So looks fantastic. And this is a way for you to start leaving behind a calling card that promotes you, your business and brand without doing it in a spammy way. So I have commented on this particular post, not as myself, Mark Warnken. I've commented as Mark Warnken, social media selling 123. How simple is that? And now, if anyone hovers over that, see the pop-up box? It pops up with my business information, helping business owners and salespeople understand and use social media, that type of thing. So people say to me, Mark, what should I be doing on Facebook? I'd be allocating anywhere between 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day to be engaging, in your network, in your industry, in your niche, in your community, in your groups, in a non-spammy way. You can't be saying, hey, click here to buy my products. You can just leave, complimentary posts, and whenever you do that, it leaves behind the calling card of your own business and brand. And as always, on everyone's Facebook page, it is okay for you to post something that says, click here to buy now. Now, in this particular case, this business is saying, they want you to call because you're not going to be buying a wedding dress, sight unseen. The vast majority of businesses, if you're a restaurant or a car hire company or hundreds of other businesses, the vast majority of business owners and brands just don't post a simple image with a call to action of pick up the phone and call now to book, or click here to book now. So these are some of the very simple tips that I want you to be focusing on with your Facebook business page this year. And I'm sure slowly but surely over the next few weeks and next few months, you will start to see magic happen. Your Facebook page will start to grow, and it's only a matter of time before you start getting inquiries and making sales as well. So we've covered YouTube and we've covered Facebook. It's now time to move on to LinkedIn. Now, a lot of you might be asking, what actually is LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a business-to-business social networking platform. 700 million people, business people around the world, have gone to the time and effort to create a LinkedIn profile. And they basically said, here I am, let's open up the lines of communication. Let's see what flows from that. So just as like we have done in our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, you want to set up and optimize your LinkedIn profile for success. You don't want people to land on your profile and not know who you are and what you do, and then they click off and scroll off. The opportunity can be lost within seconds. So, your profile image, the cover image, your professional headline, it's the same theme that I'm explaining in each of these platforms. And I'm not doing that by mistake. I'm doing it for emphasis, because the vast majority of people don't even get that part right. So once people have seen here your LinkedIn profile, they can then, the top box area on your LinkedIn profile, they can then start to scroll down and read a little bit more about you. Now, the About section used to be called the Summary section. This part is going to become the most read part of your LinkedIn profile. So you really want to spend some time and effort getting this right. 2,000 character spaces. You're wanting to break it up a little bit about who you are and what you do. But the most important part here is how you help others, the value that provide, what you do and how you help. So you're wanting to be, it's a less about a chest beating exercise about how good you are, and more, what you do to help others. Your industry keywords, because LinkedIn is a giant database and a search engine. I'm going to show you how people use that search engine later on. Contact details, call to action, click below to learn more or to watch some of my YouTube videos. Okay, now scrolling further down, and this is where my YouTube videos appear. Now remember at the start of this video when we discussed the YouTube model and I explained that we record and upload the videos once to your channel, the work is done. I can now share all of my YouTube content not only on my Facebook page, but also on my LinkedIn profile. This is how I generate, my social media channels start growing. I earn advertising income from some of those social media channels, but the vast majority of my income comes from, business clients or coaching clients, people coming on board and working with me individually, in one of my coaching programs. So, repurposing all of that content. You want to make sure your LinkedIn profile, fill in all the gaps, and I've got videos on that, so I will, won't go through that in too much more details, but just as what we did on Facebook, do the same here. And on Facebook and your YouTube channel, you want to do the same here with your LinkedIn profile. And once you've set up your LinkedIn profile, you then want to start engaging with your network. You're wanting to be posting and liking and commenting just as you do on your Facebook page, and you start engaging with your network. As I say, LinkedIn's like the biggest, business luncheon or breakfast, networking meeting in the world. And, there's no use buying a set of golf clubs and sticking them in the corner and playing golf, or there's no use buying a piano and having it in the room and never playing it. It's the same with your LinkedIn profile. There's no use, setting up a LinkedIn profile then if you're not going to actually be utilizing it. And I use my LinkedIn profile in many ways, and some of those ways is just posting and sharing business information, video, interesting content. This was a video that I shared from Anthony. So Anthony shared this video to my network, and then I just reshared it onto mine. What do people think? I reckon I'd still have to iron my shirt. It's about it's an iron and drying device all in one. And that particular post has had a couple of hundred views. Aha, what have we got here? Another one of my YouTube videos. So there we go. Posting and liking and commenting and sharing videos. This was a video that Strati, who's one of my part of my network, I just shared this particular video about a person littering. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. It's had over 5,000 views. That means 5,000 people on the LinkedIn platform or my network have had the opportunity to get exposed to me. And if anyone hovers over my name, just as I'm like hovering over Strati here, see the pop-up box that appears. That's why it's so important to optimize your profile, because if someone hovers over you and thinks, oh, who's Mark or who's Michael or who's Mary or Nicole or Francis, and this is where opportunities flow. You don't want to make it difficult. You don't want to hide on LinkedIn. Here's another video. So this one's not a video, it's just an image post, letting people know that I've uploaded a recent video to my YouTube channel, and I'm saying, click the link in the comment section below. So, by going to the trouble of setting up and optimizing a LinkedIn profile, you then want to be utilizing it on a daily basis by engaging with your network. And another way that I engage with my LinkedIn network is via my LinkedIn business page. That's right. One of the cool things about LinkedIn, you can set up your own LinkedIn business page or company page. And what it does, it gives another avenue for people to actually interact with your business, or in my own case, myself is the business and the brand is me as well. So, I can post and share the content that I'm posting, on my own profile to my LinkedIn page, and it gives another avenue for me to be found. It gives another avenue for me to post my YouTube videos. All of this information about that, is providing value to the community. I post lots of how-to videos, helpful videos, and enough of those people message me. They want to engage me to be their online coach. Their I suppose their networking or lunch function speaker, or just as engaging as a client as well. But the most popular reason that I love LinkedIn for is its search engine. Let me show you how we can use the search engine and how powerful it is. Now, I'm utilizing the LinkedIn search function by keying in the job title Office Manager. I'm utilizing one of the filters to just say here in Australia. And look, invisible has become visible. LinkedIn are now saying to me, Mark, as part of my network, 83,000 results for people in my network whose current job title is Office Manager. How simple, how powerful is that? Invisible has now become visible. I now have the opportunity to click on people's profile to open up the lines of communication, send them a message on LinkedIn. I could possibly send them an email. I could pick up the phone and give them a call. But if you're in corporate sales or in corporate business in any way, shape or form, this is how powerful LinkedIn is. This is why it is absolutely brilliant. Now, I'm going to be running through 5 of the social media platforms today. None of them can get anywhere near matching this feature. None of them will give you this information this quickly with this in depth, straight away sitting at your desk, even on your phone, scrolling through. LinkedIn is a giant database. It's a search engine of business people around the world who have basically said, hey, this is my LinkedIn profile. Let's open up the opportunity. Let's open up the lines of opportunity and see what what opportunities flow for it. So LinkedIn, I suppose, is still a bit of a mystery for most people. A lot of people actually don't say kind words about it because they don't actually know what it is, because they don't need to use it. But if you're involved in corporate sales in any way, shape, or form, LinkedIn is an absolute must. So we're really moving through things now in this video as we come on to the Instagram section. Now, Instagram is absolutely amazing. It is on fire. And for a lot of you, this may well be the number one platform that you want to be focusing on initially. So that's not to discount everything we've explained earlier before with YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, but depending on your market, depending on your clientele, Instagram might be the first one that you dive into and start mastering.
And here we are on Instagram, and I am recording this part of the video via my iPad because Instagram is almost exclusively via mobile phone and iPad device or tablet device. That's how it was set up, and it is predominantly used that way. And this is my own personal Instagram profile, just amongst family and friends. Now, my business page or my business account is undergoing a renovation at the moment, but not to worry because I have some fantastic other business pages and business accounts to actually highlight and show to everyone. And here is one of those business accounts or business pages that I'm going to be highlighting through this part of the workshop. Colour Me Courtney Quinn. Look how engaging, look how colourful, look how eye-catching, scroll stopping her Instagram profile is, or Instagram page. And that's what Instagram is all about. It's all about the image, then the caption, then the hashtags. Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Now, I've got a few more of these I'm wanting to show you as well, and I've also got a few slides just to explain in a little bit more detail, what Instagram is and how to use it.
And step one for success on Instagram is just like all of the other examples that I've been showing you in this video, and that is setting up your profile or page or account for success. And just like Courtney has done on the example that I showed you before, this is basically a very good example for you to all model and copy, and it will get you well and truly on your way for Instagram success. Now, for most of you initially, if you don't have an Instagram account or a page or a profile yet, you will just start with the individual profile like the one that I showed you. After that, you're wanting to select your page name and your handle. Now, the page name here is Courtney Quinn Color Queen, but her handle or username is Color Me Courtney. So you need to get a little bit creative with that because there are character limits and things like that. You then want to select the profile image, and she's got a nice creative one there. Equally, your bio becomes the most, I suppose it's like your banner or your cover image. It's going to be the most visual part of your Instagram account or page or profile. You're wanting to add some emojis and links and a call to action and the highlight section down below here. Now, I've got separate videos explaining how to do all of them in more details, but this is a great example of how to correctly set up your Instagram page. And the difference between a personal account versus a business or a creator profile, basically you get more analytics, you get more business information if you decide to go with a business account or a creator profile. And there are some certain limits depending on how many followers and things like that, but you can read all of them over here on the left hand side. But as I said, most of you will all want to start with your own personal profile. And when deciding on your Instagram account name and your handle, you want to make it either clear and concise. You want it to be able to stop the scroll. Now, it can be a combination of your own name or your business name or a combination, something like that. And you maybe even want to, take into consideration, is it searchable? But you do have 30 character spaces. So you need to get a little bit creative with that and have fun with it as well. Just like in this particular profile, the account name is called Create and Cultivate, and the username or the handle is Create Cultivate. So they've done some great work here on that particular one. And two more examples I want to highlight to you. There are literally hundreds. Instagram is absolutely exploding. And if you really want to make an impact, you really need to stand out. So these are some of the profiles. I don't know any of them other than the fact that I like what I see and I include them in my training. Chloe West 28. So her account name is Chloe West. Her username or handle is Chloe West 28. And you can see she's got lots of images regarding family and friends. This one over here, Sprout Social. Again, look what they've done with their bio section. They've got clickable links. They've got their address. They've got the highlight section, all of that. These are all of the best practices that all of the top Instagrammers are using. And diving a little bit deeper with Color Me Courtney. So her profile picture, you either get the option of adding an image of yourself or a product or your logo. She's gone with an image of herself. Now, your full bio, it can be a little bit tricky because you only get 150 character spaces. That's this area here. So that's where you need to get creative. You want to make it clear and captivating because first impressions on Instagram are absolutely huge. So some of the things that you might want to consider adding is a niche statement, who you are, what you do, and how you will help others. Or it could be a benefit statement as well, but have a little bit fun with it and, a little bit more creative. It's very much, less, that's what it's all about. It's all about, being fun and creative, and you want to then sort of, really stand out from the crowd, as she's done in this particular one. Maybe you can add your weekly podcast details, add a follow arrow. Some people have an arrow, follow me here. Now, if you're adding emojis, these type of things here, they tuck up 2 character spaces as well. Your bio section on Instagram is the only place that you can add a clickable link. So her clickable link, no doubt, is going to a web page, something like that. Some other people like to add a link to their YouTube channel or just have and obviously they activate their calls to action here with follow, message, and email. And then it comes on to posting on Instagram. And when you're posting on Instagram, if you're posting an image, it's the blue image here. It's the square photo, that type of thing. So it only takes up the squared image. When you're doing when you're doing videos, it takes up the portrait. And it's a longer image again, and equally with stories. And I'm going to get to you explain what stories are. It's going to take up more of the news feed on the Instagram page as well. So posting eye-catching, engaging, scroll-stopping content is what Instagram is all about once you've set up your Instagram page, profile, or account. And here's just a quick example of how the landscape photo would appear. That's why we don't promote posting landscape on Instagram. Here's an image of portrait. Look, it's double the size. Look how eye-catching this particular image is here compared to the one on the left.
And the last piece of the puzzle in regard to using Instagram with posting and engaging with your network is all about Instagram stories. So if you can see the top of the page here, I start to scroll across. This is where all of the Instagram stories are showing for people or businesses or brands that I'm following here on Instagram. So if I start to click on one of them, we start to see the short, sharp video clips that run for 15 seconds regarding promoting themselves or just information, what they're up to during the day, content, funny stuff, etc., etc. The Sydney Morning Herald, what are they up to? Which country has the nickname the hexagon? Who knows? IKEA Australia, they've got various information, looks like candles there. If I scroll further along, who have I got here? Some of the people that I'm following on Instagram. Gary V's always great for content. So with your Instagram stories, you can post them more than 15 seconds, but they just then form part of a longer story, post. So effectively you can post lots and lots of 15-second stories, just as the same as you would be posting on Facebook and now YouTube and other platforms as well. The Olympic Games, let's have a look, or Olympic Channel. We're counting down to the Tokyo Olympics. They got postponed last year, so there's lots of information happening here. Usain Bolt, the athlete, I follow him on Instagram, so there we go. That's what he's posting. So Instagram stories are the most, I suppose, the engaging part of posting and posting and providing content to your network.
So coming to the fifth and the last of the social media platforms that we're going to be exploring and discussing in this video, and this one is Twitter. And on my Twitter profile, we are. There's a similar look to all of my social media platforms, and that's all part of my branding. But the Twitter platform is probably the most confusing and probably the most unknown of the 5 major social media platforms in this video. While it's got 400 million users around the world, the vast majority of people aren't on Twitter. Now, I'm almost certain that most people have heard of Twitter, and especially with elections and various other high profile people who are on Twitter and use it for various reasons, most people are probably aware of it. But I can also say in the same breath, I can guarantee you most people almost have no idea how to use Twitter. And the main strength of Twitter, I believe, is the ability to share information quickly and easily, not only to people who are following you on Twitter, but actually the whole Twitter community around the world. Now, once something's shared on Twitter, all of the other social media platforms can quite often pick up on it very quickly, and your tweet on Twitter or your information on Twitter can start trending and get shared, across news websites, every other social media platform and things like that. So think of it as a bit like texting the world, sending short, sharp, quick information with a post, with an image, with hashtags, all of that. That's what Twitter is all about. And quite often these days, breaking news it breaks on Twitter before it, hits the websites or any of the other social media platforms as well. So Twitter is really brilliant for what it can do best, and that is, sharing, getting information out quickly and easily. But just like in all of the other social media platforms as well, if you're going to be using Twitter for business, it's best to set up and optimize your profile. So there is a similar feel and similar look to all of them. Your cover image, your profile image, your bio information here. Now, I will say I'm showing you this now on the desktop computer. Now, 95% of all Twitter information is on a mobile device. So this is less important than what it is for on the other social media platforms, because you're not going to see it in this large format. Now, you do see it on a mobile as well, but it's not as prominent and it's a little bit harder to see. But you still want to go to the same time and effort, or spend the time and effort to set up and optimize your profile from a business perspective. Now, if you're going to be using Twitter, I suppose, just as you, the individual, you can then be a little bit creative and have a little bit of fun with it as well. So setting up and optimizing your profile is what it's all about. And then you can start sharing information. Now, on Twitter, sharing information is when you tweet. So you click on the blue button over here, and just like in any of the other social media platforms, you then get the opportunity to post information. So they do give us a few options. Now, I can click on here and it's going to ask me to upload some of my media. So I would select a video file or an image file. This particular one here is a GIF file. I can search for a GIF image, a file, that type of thing. This particular one is enabling you to create polls. This is one of the great features that I love about Twitter, is you can go to the marketplace and ask them a question and get instant feedback. Now, I've actually got a separate video that explains how to create polls on Twitter, and I will put the link to that in the description below. But sometimes I get stuck and I will just go to Twitter and ask the question, or create a poll, and I'll get instant. I might get 10, 20, 30, 50 responses, and it answers my question. It could be in regard to the topic of another one of my videos, that type of thing. And for those who are organized, of course, you can actually schedule your tweets as well. So one of the best time-saving aspects of all of the social media platforms is batching your content. Whenever I'm recording my YouTube videos, I will normally batch 3 to 5 videos in a day, where I'm in front of the camera, and then I will upload them and edit them to my computer, and I will start scheduling them in advance for an upload to my YouTube channel. And now I do the same with the content. I do the same with my content that's going to Facebook. Now, LinkedIn doesn't give us that feature, unfortunately, but there are some scheduling tools to get around that. But Twitter does give you that feature as well. And if you're not posting or tweeting yourself, you can just scroll through the newsfeed and see what is happening around the world. So here's Mel Silver. She's the Managing Director of Google Australia. Google Australia have been in the news recently here. Just regarding, paying for content that's, going to be on their platform. So you can start scrolling through and liking and commenting, retweeting, all of that type of thing. And I've got videos that I'm going to put in the description below that will show you, how to use Twitter in a little bit more detail. So the information on Twitter in this video is a lot less than the others because I use Twitter in a different way. You know, for me, very much using Twitter now is a great way for me to, you know, keep up to date with breaking news and information. Of course, I also use it to share my own business comment to promote myself, my business and brand. Here's one of the Wiggles. Anthony's the Blue Wiggle. He was one of the original Blue Wiggles. I think they've been going 30 years now. So for all my friends around the world who are watching this, the Wiggles are still going strong here in Australia. Anthony's the original Blue Wiggle, and he's the only one of the original members that are still part of the quartet there on with the Wiggles. So yeah, Twitter is absolutely fantastic. I find myself enjoying it. It's probably one of the things that I get to first up of a morning. I check the news sites to see what's happening in the world. Twitter is an amazing platform and definitely should be forming part of your social media mix as well.
So there we go. It was a longer video, this one, as we covered 5 of the main social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn and Twitter. Hopefully I've opened your eyes to the possibility on all of them. Hopefully I've also narrowed down your focus a little bit. One of the things that I find, and I mentioned it in this video, I find all the time is business people, and myself included, we try and do too much across too many of the social media platforms, and we start to lose focus for that reason as well. So remembering, the tip is pick one of those social media platforms first to get really, really strong at, to master it, and then before moving on to the next one as well. So whichever social media platform you're watching this on, go to the comment section below, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts on the video, send me a message as well, let me know where you're tuning in from around the world. Mark Warnken, Social Media Selling 123, signing off. I look forward to seeing you again real soon in another one of my videos.